Hello, families. Welcome back to our Eduversity series, where we help expand your perspective with books about diversity and cultural differences. My name is Seabrooks, and today I'll be reading the book titled Little Troublemaker Makes a Big Mess by one of my favorite authors, Lovey Ajayi Jones. This book has helped open my heart and mind by reminding me that sometimes when I try to help, I end up making a mess, and that's okay. My hope is that you will find your own personal message in this book. This is dedicated to all the future changemakers and rebels with a cause. It was a big night at Lovey's house. Her mom had a meeting to go to, and Lovey and her sister Cammie were going to spend some time alone. No grown-ups, just them. Lovey, Cammie, Mom said after she kissed her daughters goodbye. There's some food in the fridge in case you get hungry while I'm gone, but I should be home in time to make us all dinner. Lovey loved her mom's cooking. The way the spices sizzled on her tongue made her whole body feel warm. After her mom left, Lovey ran to the kitchen and opened the fridge to see about that food. What would it be? Leftovers. Ugh. Lovey's whole body drooped. Oh man, I really wanted jollof rice, Lovey sighed. Yeah, Mom didn't get a chance to cook any, Cammie said. She's been really busy. That gave Lovey an idea. Wait, she shouted, following Cammie to her room. We're not busy. Can we help? Can we help Mom cook? We should surprise her. Cammie shook her head. No, Lovey. It takes a lot of steps and it'd be a mess. And we have homework to do. I finished all of mine, said Lovey, so I can do it. No, Cammie closed the door in Lovey's face. Go read a book. That's not nice, Cammie, Lovey shouted to the door. Lovey made her way to the kitchen. There was no way she was listening to Cammie. And besides, Cammie had just shut the door in her face. I'll cook the jollof myself, Lovey said. I got this. Lovey grabbed her mother's apron and put it on. She grabbed the stool and pushed it toward the cabinets. She climbed up and reached for the ingredients. Whoa, Lovey cried as she wobbled sideways. Whew, that was close. With her feet steadied, Lovey was ready. Okay, let's do this, she said out loud. Lovey grabbed the butter knife and began to cut the tomato. Splat! The tomato went everywhere. Yikes, said Lovey, and then shrugged. Then she grabbed the onion. Her eyes started to water. Squinting out of one eye, Lovey poured the oil in the pot, but half of it ended up on the floor. Uh-oh, she said. But she kept going. Lovey was not going to give up. She grabbed some rice and poured it in the pot. Well, half of it. The other half ended up on the floor, too. Lovey looked in the pot. That doesn't look good, she said, concerned. But maybe that's how it was supposed to look before it got cooked. It did have to get cooked, though. Lovey knew she wasn't old enough to touch the stove. But Cammie was. Cammie, come here. I need your help, please, Lovey shouted. She was pretty sure Cammie would be so impressed she'd apologize for that door slam. What? What do you want? Cammie shouted from her room. Can you help me turn on the stove? Lovey shouted back. Turn on the stove? Cammie raced to the kitchen and then slid over to Lovey on a puddle of oil. Oh my, look at that big mess. Catching herself on a counter, Cammie started taking deep breaths and counting. What are you doing? Lovey asked. Trying not to freak out, Cammie said. But it's not working. I'm freaking out. What did I say about you cooking, Lovey? This place is a mess. But, Lovey tried to explain, it's for Mom. She's so busy and jollof is so delicious. No, why didn't you just listen to me? Cammie said. Just go to your room. I'll clean this up when I finish my project. With her apron dragging behind her, Lovey went back to her room. She felt just as crushed as those mashed up tomatoes and wondered what she could do to make things better. The food is a disaster. The kitchen's a mess, and now we might get in trouble, Lovey moaned. And it's all my fault. But then she had another idea. Cammy was still doing her homework. Lovey could clean the kitchen before she was done. Snap. I can make everything better, she said. I'm gonna save the day. Lovey tiptoed past Cammy's bedroom. She snuck into the kitchen and she grabbed the cleaning supplies. First, the dishes. She got the dishwashing soap. She placed the dishes inside the dishwasher, poured in the soap, and pressed start. Within minutes, bubbles began to foam out of the sides of the dishwasher and flood the kitchen. She began to panic. She tried to turn off the dishwasher. Oh no, Lovey said as she tried to get everything under control. But before she could, Cammy walked in. Lovey, Cammy said in shock. Lovey had made an even bigger mess than before. Then Cammy burst out laughing. You look ridiculous, she said. I can't believe this. They both started laughing. We had to clean this up before Mom gets home, or we are in big trouble, Cammy said. Right then, Lovey and Cammy heard the keys in the front door. Mom was home and was headed for the kitchen. Uh-oh, Cammy and Lovey said together. Mom stepped into the kitchen and her mouth dropped open. The look on Mom's face made Lovey's heart sink. She knew she was in big trouble. Lovey tried to confess, but before she could get any words out, Mom said, "What's going on? What happened here?" Lovey looked down at her sudsy shoes and felt really bad. I was trying to make jollof rice for dinner, Mom. I wanted to surprise you, Lovey said. Wait, Mom said, you try to cook by yourself? Upset, she turned to Cammy. Cammy, did you know she was... I told her not to, Cammy said, but she didn't listen and I was doing my homework. Mom shook her head. You have to watch her closely. I'm not a baby, Lovey told her, frustrated. I know you're not, Mom turned back to Lovey, but you're also not a grown-up. Your job is not to cook or try to run the kitchen yourself. You broke rules we put in place to protect you. Next time, listen to me and your sister. Lovey realized her mom was right. She hadn't thought about why the rules were the rules, but she could have gotten really hurt. I'm sorry, I should have listened to Cammy, Lovey muttered. Am I in trouble? I'm glad you said that, and I know you were trying to be thoughtful. How about after dinner, we can make a list of ways to make some good trouble? Mom reached for Lovey and hugged her. I love you, she said. Also, you're going to help me fix this mess you made by cleaning up. Lovey was relieved. Even when she got in trouble, her mom still made her feel loved. I love you too, she told her mom. Even more than I love jollof rice. Her mom smiled. Wow, that's a lot, isn't it? Lovey nodded. So much, big much. Well, good news, her mom said. I stopped at a restaurant and got us jollof. We can eat it after we clean up this mess. Deal? Deal, Lovey shouted. With all three of them working together, it didn't take too long to fix up the kitchen. Cammy washed the dishes, Lovey dried them, and Mom mopped up the floor. Then they piled on the couch together to eat the jollof rice. Lovey loved every bite. But it's not as good as yours, she told her mom. Mom laughed. You're such a little troublemaker, she said. Lovey smiled. I am, she told her. Sure am. And this is the end of the book. It says, what is jollof rice? Jollof rice is a delicious rice dish that originated in West Africa. It's especially popular in Nigeria, where little Lovey's family is from. It's warm, comforting, and yummy. You can make it as spicy as you want. It has vegetables in it, and you can make it with fish or other meat. You can make it your own. Each family has their own special recipe. And so what is good trouble? Little Lovey got herself into trouble, even though she meant well, because she didn't think about what she was best at, not cooking dinner. She didn't keep her own safety in mind. But there are lots of ways little Lovey could have channeled her good intentions and make good trouble. The kind of trouble that helps our friends and family, helps our community, and makes the world a better place. Here are some ways to make that good kind of trouble. Be your best self and do what you do best. Say kind things. Try to be as thoughtful as possible. Do speak up when you see something unfair, as long as you feel safe. And here are some questions to help us. First, with our identity. Do you remember a time you broke a rule? How did you feel? Did you get in trouble? Second, our skills. Jollof rice is a popular dish in Nigeria, where little Lovey's family is from. Can you find Nigeria on a map? Intellectualism. Lovey's mom said the rules were put in place to protect her. What rules do you obey, and how do they protect you? Criticality. Good trouble is the kind of trouble that helps our friends and family, helps our community. It makes the world a better place. What good trouble have you encountered? And finally, joy. What is your favorite dish that your family enjoys together? I hope that you enjoyed this book. Again, Lovey Ajayi is one of my favorite authors, and I'm so happy this is her first children's book, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Thank you for stopping by.